I didn't want to go back. After I uploaded the first video, I closed my laptop, made some tea, and told myself, that's done. You showed them the fields. You let them hear the weeping. Now leave it alone. But you know how it is, don't you? When a place calls you, not loudly, not with words, just a pressure behind your eyes, a soft pull in your chest every time you try to sleep. 3 nights after part 1 went live, I woke up at 3:33 a.m. My phone screen was lit up with a notification from my own channel, but I hadn't posted anything. I hadn't even opened YouTube. The notification said, The Weeping Fields, Part 2, unlisted. I thought it was a hack, a glitch. But when I clicked it, the video was already there. 32 seconds long. No title card. Just a single shot of the field at night. The same field I had filmed in daylight. And in the middle of the shot, something was moving. Not an animal. Not the wind. A shape. Human. Face down in the soil. And it was pulling itself forward with its fingers, inch by inch, leaving dark trenches behind. The audio was just thick, wet breathing. Then the video ended. I deleted it. I swear I deleted it. But the next morning, the file was back, and this time the view count had gone up by 1. So I drove back to the Weeping Fields. The road there had changed. That's the first thing I noticed. The old gravel path was gone, replaced by a single track of black mud that smelled of rust and old rain. My headlights hit the first fence post. Last time the fence was broken, rotting, half fallen. Now, it was mended, fresh wood, new nails, but no footprints around it. No tire tracks, just the fence, standing like it had never fallen. I parked a quarter mile away. The moment I turned off the engine, I heard it. The weeping. Not the soft, sad crying from part 1. This was deeper, hoarse, as if a dozen throats had been crying for days without water. And underneath it, a second sound, a rhythm. Thump, 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 like a heavy fist hitting packed earth from below. I grabbed my flashlight and the old microphone. The air was colder than it should be for spring. My breath fogged in front of me, but the fog didn't drift away. It hung in the air, forming little shapes. Faces, maybe. Or just tired eyes. I stepped into the field. Immediately, my boots sank deeper than before. The soil was wetter, darker, and when I lifted my foot, the print filled with black water. Not mud. Water that looked like old ink. I knelt down and touched it. It was cold. Not cold like groundwater. Cold like something had been thinking about being cold for a very long time. I walked toward the center of the field, where the weeping was loudest. Last time I had found a single withered tree. This time, there were 3, arranged in a triangle. Their branches had grown together at the top, forming a kind of crooked dome. And inside that triangle, the ground was moving. Not crawling, not churning. It was rising and falling, a slow, massive breath, as if the earth itself had lungs. I'm not brave. Let me be clear. I wanted to run, but my legs didn't listen. They carried me forward, 1 step, 2 steps, until I was standing at the edge of that breathing soil. And then I saw the hands. 4 hands, pale, thin, fingertips black with dirt. They were pushing up from underground, fingers spread wide, trembling. Not grabbing, not reaching, just presenting, palms open, as if waiting for something to be placed in them. I whispered into my microphone, "What happened here?" And the weeping stopped. All at once, dead silence. Even the wind died. Then a voice answered, not from the hands, from behind me. "You happened." I spun around. No one there. Just the 3 trees. But the voice was male, old, dry as old leather. And it spoke again. "You came the first time. You recorded. You named us. The Weeping Fields. And names have weight, visitor. Names are anchors." I asked who was speaking. The voice said, "We are the ones who were sown too deep. The ones the rain forgot. When you wept with us in your first video, even if you didn't cry real tears, the field felt it. Empathy is a seed, and you planted it." I looked down at my boots. The black water had risen. It was now up to my ankles, and I noticed, for the first time, that the water was not reflecting the sky. It was reflecting something else. A room. A dark room with a single wooden chair. And in that chair, a man with my exact posture, my exact jacket, but no face. Just smooth skin where his features should be. I stepped back. The reflection rippled. The faceless man tilted his head. The voice from the trees said, "Part 1 was the question. Part 2 must be the answer. But answers cost. Are you willing to pay?" I should have said no. Every sane bone in my body screamed no. But my mouth said, "What's the price?" And the ground opened. Not a crack, not a sinkhole. It opened like a zipper. A straight, clean line splitting the soil from the triangle of trees all the way to the fence. And from that split rose a smell I cannot describe. Not rot, not flowers. It was the smell of memory. Of something you lost when you were 5 years old and never knew you missed. The weeping started again. But this time it was joyful, relieved. And the hands, those 4 pale hands, they pulled themselves free. 2 figures rose from the earth. A man and a woman. Their clothes were old, maybe 100 years old, maybe 200. Their eyes were closed. Their mouths were open, not in a scream, but in a soft "oh," as if they had been singing when the dirt buried them. They stood in front of me. Mud dripped from their elbows. Neither breathed. Then they opened their eyes. The man's eyes were the color of dry soil. The woman's eyes were the color of a cloudy sky. And they both looked at me with an expression I will never forget. It was not anger. It was not gratitude. It was recognition. The man spoke. "We were the first, the sowers. We did not weep when we were buried. We laughed, because we thought we were planting a paradise." The woman spoke. "But paradise does not grow from buried bodies. Only regret grows. And regret, when watered by strangers' tears, becomes this." She gestured to the fields, the 3 trees, the breathing ground. I asked, "What do you want?" The man said, "We want you to finish the video. Not for views, for closure. Record us. Speak our story. And when you upload it, do not add music. Do not add effects. Just your voice and our faces. Let the world hear what we learned too late." So I raised my microphone, and I said, "I'm listening." They told me everything. Their names were Ezra and Miriam. They were farmers 200 years ago, when this land was just a valley. A drought came, 3 years without rain. The creek dried. The cattle died. The people began to leave, but Ezra refused to go. He had a vision. If you bury the 2 people who love the land most, their tears would soak the soil from below and call the rain. Miriam agreed, because she loved him, and because she was desperate. They dug their own graves, faced each other, held hands, and their neighbors buried them alive, singing because they believed it was a sacrifice, not a murder. But Ezra and Miriam did not cry. They were too terrified, too dry. They clawed at the dirt above them until their fingers broke. They screamed until their throats bled. But no tears came. So the rain did not come either. The valley remained dead for 50 years. Then someone new built a house nearby. A child died. A mother wept over the grave, and her tears seeped down, 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 to where Ezra and Miriam still waited. Those tears woke them, not as living people, as something else. Something that could feel every tear shed on that soil, every drop of grief, every lonely sob. And after 200 years they had learned. Tears are not water. Tears are questions. And the weeping fields are the echo of every question that never got an answer. The man, Ezra, said, "When you recorded part 1, you asked, 'Why is this place sad?' That question gave us form again. Now, in part 2, you must ask the final question." I asked, "What question?" Miriam stepped closer. Her bare feet left no prints. She whispered, "Ask us if we forgive the ones who buried us." I didn't hesitate. I asked. And for the first time, The very first time, the weeping fields were silent. No weeping, no wind, no thumping underground. Ezra looked at Miriam. Miriam looked at Ezra, and they both smiled. It was not a happy smile. It was the smile of a wound finally closing. Ezra said, "No, we do not forgive, but we are tired of weeping, so we will stop. The fields will dry, the hands will sink, and you will go home and upload this video. And when it is over, you will never hear us again." I asked, "That's it? That's the end?" Miriam said, "That is the end of the weeping, but not the end of the field, because now the field remembers you. Every time you feel a sadness you cannot name, that is us. Not haunting you, just remembering you remembered us." They began to sink, slowly at first. The soil rose to their knees, their waists, their chests. The whole time they kept their eyes on me, not threatening, not loving, just present. The last thing I saw was Ezra's hand, the same pale hand that had first pushed from the earth, giving me a single thumbs up. Then the soil closed. The 3 trees groaned. The triangle broke. 2 of them fell with a wet crack. The third stayed standing, but it was just a tree now, dead and hollow. I walked back to my car. The black water was gone. The fence was broken again. The road was gravel. And when I got home, I opened my laptop. The mysterious unlisted video was gone. The notification was gone. My view count was normal. But I found a new file on my desktop. A video file. 32 seconds long. I played it. It was the shot from last night. The faceless man in the chair. The dark room. But this time, his face was not smooth anymore. It had a mouth. And the mouth moved. It said, "Part 3? No, there is no part 3. There is only the harvest." The video ended. I stared at my reflection on the black screen. And for the first time in my life, I could not tell if my own eyes were crying or if the field was crying through me. This is The Weeping Fields, Part 2. I am not going back. But I think the field is already here.